If I don't take care of these herbs right away, they're just going to overtake this whole entire herb bed, and I need to start thinking about Christmas gifts. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to cut them back, put them in the dehydrator, and then make everybody little homemade gifts for Christmas. If you look right here, this basil plant is starting to flower, and I don't want that. So I am just going to pick off the flowers here. But the rest of it I'm going to get in here and chop. I need to get some of this oregano and thyme taken care of, and all into the dehydrator. And then tonight for dinner, I am going to use some leftover chicken that I have in the refrigerator and make chicken enchiladas. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here and cut pretty heavily. I want to cut right above one of the areas here that have stems right above that so that it can continue to promote growth. So I'm going to just grab a whole bunch of this. And by doing this, you're not hurting the plants, you're actually promoting it. So and one of these thymes I actually got at the grocery store. I don't remember which one it is. And then the other one I just grew from seed. So you can take the grocery store thyme and herbs and basil that has the root ball attached and just put it in the ground. All right, so now that that is done, I'm gonna get this into the house, rinse it off, and then put it into the dehydrator. I don't have a lot of time this morning. And I'm going to just put it on the lowest setting of 95. And then I will come back and check on it when I get home from work. All right, it is the next morning. When I got home from work yesterday, they weren't quite dry. So I let them go overnight. And this is what we got. Look at how much they shrank. Like this whole tray was full. And that's what I am left with, is this amount here. So I'm going to get all the trays out and we'll see what we got. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and put this into these jars. Now, I'm going to try and get as much of the stem out as I can. And so I'm just going to kind of run my fingers down the stem over the jar. Like so. I'm going to start up in the house. I'm going to put my house in there today, because we don't want it. All right, so this is what we ended up with here. Basil, thyme, and oregano. I know it doesn't look like much in here, but a little bit will go a long way. And the more I gather and dry or dehydrate, the further it will go as far as Christmas gifts are concerned. You do want to make sure that whatever you're drying, dehydrating, is completely dry before you store it. And what you can do is called conditioning, is you can just check on it every couple of days, shake it up, see if anything's sticking or if there's any condensation in the glasses. And I think after like a week, if nothing is going on, then you should be good to go. I'm going to be making dinner, and for tonight I'm going to be making chicken enchiladas out of a chicken that I pre-cooked the other day in a crock pot. This is a really cheap way to get a couple of meals out of a chicken. Just buy the whole chicken at the grocery store, cooked or uncooked, it doesn't really matter. And then if it's uncooked, throw it into the crock pot for however long, 4 to 6 hours. Have dinner that night with carrots and potatoes or whatever, and then take the rest of the meat off the bone, put it into a Tupperware until you're ready to use it. I'd say a day or two at most, and then make chicken enchiladas. Super simple, money saving. So first, that's clean, it's just stained. So I'm gonna try and get 6 in my dish, because I know that my family for dinner will only eat 1 each of these, and then I'm gonna take some to work. So I am trying to do low carb. So I'm going to mix low carb with the regular tortillas in here and hope that I remember what is what, because I don't know that I will have enough chicken to make 2 of these dishes. And normally if I was making enchiladas out of corn tortillas, I would warm up some enchilada sauce in a pan and then put the tortillas inside the enchilada sauce to kind of warm through so that they're easier to roll. But I'm not doing that. So I'm gonna first start by shredding some cheese. Okay. So there is the cheese for the inside. I can grate some more cheese if I need to for the outside. I need to mark this somehow. Okay, I'm gonna mark this over here with a permanent marker. This side will be K for keto, and this side will be R for regular. What I am going to do is I'm going to dump my chicken in here, because there's probably still some bones in here. And I just want to make sure I don't get any bones like that right there into the enchiladas. And my hands are clean, so I am just going to kind of feel around for bones. Or like cartilage. That was a piece of cartilage. I think that's pretty good, actually, as I say that. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm gonna take some of this enchilada sauce and pour it in here. And I'm also going to open up a can of green chilies and dump those in there as well. And I just want to warm it up a little bit. I may use 2 cans of the enchilada sauce because we like our enchiladas saucy. All right, now we're going to assemble. And if you want, you can throw these in the microwave to warm them up a little bit. I'm just going to add however much chicken, cheese, do a little tuck and roll. I want to try and get 2 more in there. Once we have our enchiladas in there, I'm going to take the rest of this enchilada sauce and then right before I throw this in the oven, I'm going to top it with a bunch more cheese for now. Because it's not going in the oven for a little while, I'm just going to put the rest of this cheese on here, and then it will go in the fridge until I'm ready to throw this in the oven, which we will come back to. All right, so I've had that in the refrigerator waiting until dinner time. Now I'm just going to add some more shredded cheese on top, and then I will probably reserve some of this cheese for after it's cooked. I have my oven preheating at 350, and I'm gonna throw this in there for probably, I don't know, 25 minutes or so until that cheese is melted and the enchilada sauce is nice and warm and everything's kind of just warmed through. And then after, I will show you what it looks like when it's ready to be served. For the topping of the enchiladas, I'm going to cut up some of this lettuce. My husband just likes his enchiladas to be cheese and sour cream, but I like to have lettuce on mine. So I'm just gonna shred up some lettuce real quick. Some onion. We got these jalapeno stuffed olives from Aldi, and I actually think they would be really good on top. So I'm gonna cut up a couple of these for myself and then put them on the side of my husband's plate. That way if he wants them, he can eat them, but I think that they're good. And of course, avocado. When I slice my avocado, I like to get in there and peel it from the back. That way when I slice it, it's just nice and even slices. I don't have to worry about scooping it out of the peel. This was in the refrigerator, but typically it comes out a lot easier than this. But like that. And there's my avocado slices. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out of the oven and just kind of let it sit for a couple of minutes to, I don't know, not be so runny, I guess, kind of like lasagna, just kind of to absorb some of that liquid. I'm gonna let it sit and then we will plate it up. That is how I like to eat my enchiladas. I like to have sour cream, lettuce, onions, avocado, and then the new addition of these olives here. So yeah, if you are looking for a cheap and easy meal, I definitely recommend doing the chicken enchiladas that you have already used the chicken from another meal, because you get 2 for 1. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, spending some time with me while I do some dehydrating and cook a dinner for my family, and I will see you in the next one.